As known to Webster's dictionary, nature is a phenomena of the physical world, including plants, animals, the landscape, and other features and products of the earth as opposed to human creations. All of these natural objects have a purpose and meaning in nature. For example, all of the plants in every ecosystem have many uses, one of many being food to feed the animals in that ecosystem. All of the beautiful animals contribute to how clean and unclean the ecosystem around them is. The animal that does the most damage to their ecosystem is humans. They have destroyed their ecosystem and are now destroying others. In the northern part of the Pacific Ocean lies an artificial island accidentally created by the human race. It resides in the North Pacific Gyre and is trapped there by rotating currents. Through the years, it has slowly grown as pieces are pushed into it. It was predicted in 1988 in the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association. The physical discovery of this artificial island was when Captain Moore discovered the island in 1977 after competing in the Trans-Pacific Yacht Race.
Entered the 1997 Transpac from Los Angeles to Honolulu to test a new rig, a new mast on my vessel. And on the way there, it's a straight line run line race, downhill, a lot of spinnaker sailing. But on the way back, you beat north to around 40 degrees and get the westerly winds traditionally. But I was a research vessel, I had extra fuel, so I decided to take a shortcut at my latitude, the latitude of Los Angeles, 35 north, and head through the doldrums, which most sailors avoid. But by doing that, I exposed myself to this garbage pad.
The artificial island that Captain Moore discovered is now known as the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. Even though we discovered this patch only a few decades ago, it has grown massively since we discovered it. That is mostly because our plastic production is up 200%, which leaves a lot of littered garbage. All of this littered garbage is then transported to the North Pacific Gyre from land masses after rain comes down on mountains and then falls down, creating rivers. Once these rivers are created, the garbage will be blown into the river or straight to the ocean. The garbage from the rivers are moved with the river to the gyre from northeastern Asia via the Kuroshio Current and North America via the North Pacific Current. These countries are first world countries, meaning consumption of plastic in everyday lives are far greater than most, and these countries are places on the coast of a landmass bordering these currents, which will push garbage into the gyre, creating an even larger Great Pacific Garbage Patch.
Your view on the Great Pacific Garbage Patch?
Well, I mean, it's got this big pile of plastic in the Pacific Ocean, right? But a lot of it is these really tiny microbeads that kill things. I guess killing a lot of things is bad, so I think the garbage patch is bad.
I believe the issue is a rather negative one for humanity because we gain a lot of fish and resources from the ocean, and eventually it will affect us.
Australia, as an example, don't have widespread recycling programs. We also need to reduce our consumerism of certain products, especially plastic products. So that means no plastic bags, no plastic bottles, even plastic utensils, things like that get into our garbage, get into our rivers and our streams and get out to that ocean and make the problem even worse.
It's going to be carried by like a heavy tide or whatever, and I mean eventually it's going to get broken down by sunlight into the little microplastics that are rotten for everything. And even as a full bag, I mean, some things are mistaken for like a jellyfish or whatever. Turtles eat them. Turtles are lovely.
There wouldn't really be any capital gains for them to clean up the environment. If there was some sort of government involvement that required companies to maybe gain some sort of revenue for amount of garbage that they collected, then I could see them get involved, but companies don't get rich by being compassionate to others.
What actions do you think people who don't live on or near coast could take to reduce the amount of plastic polluting the ocean?
Well, we definitely don't live near any bodies of water in Alberta and Sexsmith. Yet when I go out on the highway, I see constantly a bunch of plastic and pollution all over, which is very disturbing. Me being from Ontario, I've never seen anything like that, and I was closer to the Great Lakes. So I think that maybe sometimes because we think we're so far removed, we're naive that our pollution and littering of garbage won't affect the oceans, but it actually does because everything's interconnected.
Once a plastic is in the ocean or a body of still water, the plastic begins to break down. There's two processes to this. The first being that the plastic is broken down by water, which is actually known as the universal solvent. The second is photodegradation, which is the breaking down of objects with sunlight. Both of these are very common ways anything breaks down. However, plastics will break down faster in the ocean as it is salt water. As the plastic breaks down, it releases small amounts of toxins each time. Alone, these small amounts are not deadly, but when many millions of pieces of plastic are breaking down, this creates a poisoned area for marine life. Humans may not be directly affected by these, but through the process of bioaccumulation in which small creatures, for instance plankton, will eat the small plastic particles, mistaking them for food. Once the plankton is eaten by a small fish, the plastic travels into the small fish's stomach, and this fish will have plastic inside of it. This process continues up the food chain until it reaches us, humans. By the time you eat one fish, you will have eaten more than 1,000 times more plastic than the plankton. As well, with the addition of toxins in these plastics, a person could easily become poisoned from these amounts. These problems are becoming problems on a global scale, as most countries have large fishing industries. An independently owned and operated company known as Geokath has begun work on a prototype that will clean up the garbage patch. This device will be placed at intervals around the garbage patch to allow the fastest clean rate for that device. Each station will have both a station for processing and collecting the garbage, and a secondary pod to anchor the station in place, while containing a lab for studying marine biology and the chemical effects on a marine ecosystem. Once full, these stations will transport the garbage by ship to the closest harbor near a recycling plant and landfill, where the plastic and other objects will be unloaded. The removal of garbage and plastics creates a new ecosystem free of pollution, in which animals such as the endangered North Pacific right whale and whale shark could live, in improving the chance that these species will not become extinct. And with companies such as Geokath working to clean the oceans of this world, we have hope of a pollution-free and clean world in the future.